Someone
Well,
else.
we know some people.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
there
know
you go.
people.
So actually, we know another Chinese guy in
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Conrad Louis.
Conrad. Yeah, he has multiple rankings.
We'll need to introduce you.
multiple systems.
Yeah.
And
I
he's
mean,
a
I have
chiropractor.
very basic
And he's a
knowledge of
chiropractor, yes.
pistol and
Yeah.
rifle shooting. But,
Oh, well,
it's
no,
fine.
that's more than us.
Yeah.
More than me, anyway.
All right.
Me, I
so-
only know how to play with sticks.
Yeah, that's all we do. We just play with sticks. We pretend.
But yeah, if you want more information, you can always go to my website, 64movements.com. You can also check out Instagram or Facebook as well, so under 64 Movements.
Okay.
And yeah, it's pretty simple. So, the style of Tai Chi that I teach, like the name entails, has 64 movements. And the coolest thing is that these 64 movements have never been changed. Ever since my instructor's husband brought them over from mainland China in the 60s. They opened up their school in 1965.
Wow.
We have never changed the form, right? And that was what was the condition of what Sifu Kuo Lian Ying, who's my teacher's husband, was given, right? So when he was taught this form, the 64 Tai Chi form, he was told, I will never change this style of Tai Chi. And that, I think, is so important because, as much as I love martial arts, as we go throughout the styles, more people continue to, fuse and learn other arts.
Evolve it.
Right, exactly. And things, sometimes tend to take their own spin. But it's very rare to find a form that has really been completely untouched. It's like practicing, an old karate form, like a nahate form or something like that. That's something that, it's almost like a piece of ancient art or history. Yeah, exactly. And
That's pretty cool.
yeah, and
I
so
admire
it's
that because
really,
we're in regular martial arts. Everybody's always trying to change it, evolve it, and making it their own. And then to hear that's kind of interesting. I mean,
It's totally opposite of what we do.
I mean our focus is always about how do you make it better and
How do you make it work for
fluid
you?
Yeah.
But to hear this, that's interesting.
Well,
I mean, there's a time and a place for that,
Right.
and I think for me, I'll do that. I'll take some liberties when it comes to teaching the Tai Chi form, for example. Like if I'm speaking to especially someone who's more English language driven, right? I'm very specific on like the geometrical angles that they're making with their feet.
Right.
So the way you explain it, not so much what you're telling them.
Exactly. I haven't changed the form or anything. It's just the way of my teaching.
Now I'm
right?
curious, how long has this art existed prior to your teacher having brought it here?
So the oldest record, that my teacher has is that it was handed down from his instructor Wang Chou-yi, and then who learned it from an instructor, Grandmaster Yang Ban Ho. Now, these instructors, I know Wang Chou-yi was an instructor in the 1800s, so 19th century. And so, my instructor's husband passed away in 89, so, he'd been teaching since like 1920s, 1930s.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so
That's impressive.
So
Yeah,
that's
it really
that.
is.
So
And it
that
hasn't
I
changed
know.
since.
Yeah, for sure. That's the
Verifiable
lineage,
lineage, yeah.
Exactly. But my teacher will take it all the way back to records of Fuxi and how the yin yang philosophy then kind of came together because when you're talking about Chinese arts, right, they all come together, calligraphy as well as philosophy as well as exercise
Healing,
and food,
yeah.
right? They all come out of the 5 elements, right? And so a lot of that is stressed in this Tai Chi, and it's
so
a beautiful form
Yeah.
because a lot of the concepts line up with the 5 elements as well as like the I Ching or the 8 trigrams, right, which creates the 64. So mathematically and rhythmically, it's really beautiful.
Wow. In all of our shows, we try to get the interviewee to come up and do demonstrations.
Liar. He tries to get the interviewee to beat me up
Yeah.
in their style.
Yeah.
You can just perform if you want.
Yes, because that would be. I mean, I would love to see your 64.
I
Yeah,
would.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
That
god.
would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're gonna study the video in slow motion,
yeah,
and we're
sure.
gonna cut you out.
This is awesome, dude. How long did it take you to get the 64? I mean,
Yeah.
that's got to have been a process, right?
Yes. So my teacher teaches one step at a time. One step at a time. And sometimes you get two, sometimes you get lucky. Right? But one step at a time, and I took a break in between. So I learned half of the set. So I learned 1 through 32. And I was fairly diligent, or I thought I was diligent. I would practice it, as often as I could. But then I came back to her, I think after maybe a year or two. I want to say maybe 2 years after I learned the first 32 steps. And yeah, she looked at me. She's like, "What is this?"
Like, you suck. Come here.
You're like, I'm a
Yeah,
terrible
yeah,
teacher
yeah.
if that's what you remember. Just dug in.
Yeah, basically. And I was like, oh, man, like I was working on this 32 steps for like 2 years.
you know,
we
working
have
on
we have a
drawing.
saying
Yeah,
that says, if you
apparently.
practice, perfectly practice, right? Because if you said practice makes perfect.
No.
I said no, it doesn't.
Perfect
It's
practice.
Perfect practice, So you're out there practicing it
Totally wrong.
totally wrong.
Right.
But you were
right,
diligent, which
But I was-
that should
which
be
is
brownie
good.
points.
Right. Yeah, right, exactly. I like brownie points.
Yeah, yeah.
tasty.
Yeah, we
Didn't
have
work,
the same
but-
idea that you can practice all day long. If you're practicing wrong, it's still going to be wrong.
Yeah.
It's perfectly wrong.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, but that's cool that she looks at you like, damn, where did I go wrong?
So step one.
Back to step one.
Yeah, so basically after that first 2 years, then it took me another year and a half to finally get the full 64.
Wow.
And I'm still working on it. It's really interesting because when you do the same thing every day, you start to notice, like, even though the thing doesn't change, your body changes.
Yes.
Which is really fascinating because some days are going to be better than others. Some days are going to be colder than others. It's all an
You slept
evolution.
wrong.
Then the mentality
Yeah,
changes
yeah.
too,
your
doesn't it?
neck.
The
Yeah.
mentality of what you're thinking about and how you're doing the process.
Right, yeah, and so it's very interesting, but it gives you a really good baseline, for how to move your body through the day. If I'm doing the form and I'm like, oh, my hip feels a little off today, I know maybe I'm not gonna twist super hard that day, right? Because it just gives me that extra awareness.
Have you ever had to use Tai Chi as a self-defense?
No. Like I was alluding to earlier.
Alluding.
Yeah, self-defense
vocabulary.
and Tai Chi don't really mix. Tai Chi is really, I really just try to single out the Tai Chi in its own self because it's so, such a huge mental,
Right.
as well as like a meditational philosophic exercise that it's really removed from the aspect of self-defense, because for me self-defense is survival.
Right.
Okay, that's a totally different mental space that you need to be in for survival. Because when I talk to my women's self-defense class about survival, nothing really matters. I don't want you to be a master martial artist. I don't care if you're a master martial artist.
Yeah.
I want you to get it in your head that you're going to get out and get safe.
Right.
Yeah, that's a totally other mentality than,
Cool.
taking it in, focusing on your balance, and meditating.
I love everything you're saying. Because
I know, because I'm like, wait, folks, she also teaches women self-defense.
Yeah,
We didn't put that on the list yet.
very well rounded. Yeah. It's coming. It's coming.
Holy crap! Wow, well, we'd love to collaborate with you on that one.
Yeah, we give classes in that as well.
Yeah.
Because we think that's important.
We work for food.
Yeah, we work for food. Yeah,
Yeah.
we never charge for those.
Yeah, we don't
things.
charge for that particular class.
But that's really cool. You really are very well rounded.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to point out to the audience, because your last name, Mendo, right, isn't Chinese.
No.
and you look very Chinese.
Yeah.
But we come to find
Really?
out.
Very Chinese?
Well, no,
Oh,
I mean, right? I mean, you have the very features
I'm playing
of,
devil's advocate
of an
here.
Asian person.
Of an Asian person?
well,
Could be Korean.
Well, yeah, I know, but what explains this?
Well, first
Sorry.
Xin Kuai everyone. Happy
Oh,
New
yeah.
Year.
Oh, yes.
If you're
Going
celebrating
Hey Fat
Lunar New Year today.
You're the rabbit.
But
It's not
no,
looking good.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Really?
we're not doing horoscopes? Sorry, I thought we were doing horoscopes. My bad. Sorry.
But I am half Chinese and half Filipino. But my family is from the Philippines. My mother's side, on my mother's side, my grandfather was Chinese.
Okay.
And so then, you
So
know,
it's that
And they were kicked out of China and ended up in the Philippines, or how did
more or
that
less,
happen?
more or less. Yeah.
back then, yes.
You know, it was maybe a little more, you know, touch and go than that.
Ah,
But
wow.
he made it down there.
Okay.
Made it down to the Philippines and was able to, you know, find a nice wife and and
So
then,
where does
my
that
parents
last
met
name
in-
come from then? Because Medal is not a really Filipino name either.
You know,
Sounds what,
yeah, I've
European?
got a I've
Right,
got a
because every
pretty
time, you know,
tangled
when I first saw your name, it was
history,
Alex
yeah.
Medal. I was like,
yeah.
she's Chinese. You're
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, something's wrong.
Yeah,
They moved
yeah.
to Germany, took a new name.
Right. Well, my father's original last name was San Agustin.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Well, okay,
Filipino.
now-
So there you
that's
go.
Filipino.
So
Yeah. So what happened?
And then, well,
No,
you know, my
she took a picture
grandmother
of her and
went
said,
through a
"Oh, I'm going to
series
change
of-
my name."
of remarriages. and
Wait,
things
your
like
dad
that.
remarried and
No,
changed his
my
name?
grandmother.
Oh.
My grandmother.
I was gonna say, damn, that's a progressive
You know,
dad.
but,
He changed his name to his wife's, his sixth wife.
Yeah, it's quite a tangled family history, but you know, all
That's
that
cool,
matters
bro.
is that we're all, you know,
We're
hanging
here
out
now.
and we're all good.
We're all good.
Exactly.
That's funny.
So we're
Yeah.
not gonna push it. I'm sure there's an interesting story in there that you don't want to tell, but um, that's very interesting, like history of it. And then I'm assuming your parents came here or were born here, or
Yeah, they came to New Orleans first. They immigrated
wow.
to Louisiana
Filipino
in
Chinese
the
in
80s,
Louisiana.
I believe.
Okay.
And then from there they decided that they wanted to have a family. So in the late 80s, early 90s, and they came over and settled down in Southern California.
That's
Then,
where you were born.
Lo and behold,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bam, bam, bam. Yeah,
Came out future Alex, yeah.
exactly.
Nice. And is it just you, single child, siblings?
Yeah, I have one brother, and he's also living in the Bay Area.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Actually, we just invested in a house together, so
Oh, nice.
it's gonna be
Oh,
pretty
that's
exciting.
right. You were moving. That's why you
Yeah.
blew us off last time.
I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah, she did.
She just didn't show up. She was tired.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
we still like you.
Yeah, we didn't hold it against you. I mean, we're gonna talk shit, but I mean,
I'll take
that's
it.
what we do. That's what we do. It means we like you. It means we like you.
There you go. Have you watched any of our shows?
No,
I'm curious.
I must say no.
What?
not even the Futaba and Jimmy one. Come on now.
Yeah.
Not, yeah, you
Thought for
know,
sure that would get you.
I've been really.
Although she did
inundated
subscribe.
with,
Oh, you
I
did.
did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Yeah.
about that. Thank you.
Yeah,
We appreciate
yeah.
that.
Now we only
I-
need another 5,000 and we'll be good.
Subscribers? I thought we only needed like
500.
500? 500.
We're gonna make it there.
We're gonna make it eventually after 5 years.
Yeah.
We're slow. We're kind of
Yeah.
slow burn as we are.
It's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's a
well,
good
we
thing.
take our time.
Can be. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're
We,
good.
we have time to go ahead and do a demo so she can slap you around a bit.
Am I gonna
Alright.
get slapped around?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Everything's
So,
done.
folks, we're going to
We're gonna
reset
reset.
here. We're going to have our good friend Alex the Ninja.
Alex the Ninja.
New show is
title.
her 64.
Right?
Huh?
Her show is her 64.
Her 64.
Her Nintendo 64.
There you go.
Nintendo
Nintendo 64.
she knows.
Hey, it's one of the best Marios. Come on.
It actually
Come on.
was. That
Yeah.
was the better
Come on,
system.
that really was.
So we're gonna reset this, folks, and we'll be right
Have
back.
a video game play.
We're gonna play Mario Kart. All right, folks, we're back. So, Alex, let's do a little promo for you. How did they get a hold of you again?
64movements.com.
Oh,
Or
sorry,
you
not
can-
that movement. Sorry, I was doing my own thing. That's
Sounds
bad on
good.
camera. My bad.
64movements.com, or you can go to Facebook or Instagram, look up 64 Movements.
And this is a Tai Chi that we're referring to, right? Not all the other many things that you do know how to do.
Yeah, capoeira.
Yes, all Tai Chi.
Taekwondo,
Yeah.
Shorin-ryu.
So right now I have availabilities on private, one-on-one, online classes in Tai Chi, as well as if you need help with personal training or nutrition. So
You do nutrition too?
Oh,
I do a lot of things.
he's
Yeah,
got
what
a
else?
good thing.
Shut up. I'm working on it. I lost 4 pounds, guys.
Whatever.
I'm back on my schedule, intermittent
Yeah,
fasting
yeah.
and
Okay.
all that. And
Now, let's
meats.
make this about her.
What?
Okay.
Oh, right. She's going to show us her forms.
All right.
Her Tai Chi forms.
So we're going to get out of the way. This time, after she does the 64, we're going to actually do applications.
Yes.
Where, our Uki here, resident punching bag, Nain is going to get slapped around. So, you know me, I like this. That's always the best part of the
It's
show.
sad how that's become a thing.
Yeah, it really has.
And
So
yet
you don't,
I asked
you don't
for
even
it.
have to take it easy. You can take it.
All right.
All right?
Right.
All right, so I'm out of here.
That's it.
Wow, that was crazy. How does that even hurt anybody?
Well, it does.
which is what we're going to get to show now, right?
Right.
So this is the part where you get to any of those 64 that you want to just hit him with. And if you could kind of explain how that all works out, because other than just the movements, I'd love to see where those pieces are applied into actual making contact with something.
I just love the fact of watching her forms, the stability of the entire center
Oh
line.
yeah, she was never like.
Yeah, exactly,
I
right?
mean, I'd be like, "Ugh," trying to keep my balance intact, but
Because that would be a great thing to teach the students, is always trying to get them to move everything forward
Yeah.
as they move, so they're not
yeah, reaching and leaning
or leaning or trying to put
Yeah.
everything moved
Yeah.
together. Like you seem so solid at any one of those movements, but yet your movements were soft, which is kind of
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And
Yeah.
that's honestly one of the things that I do go into with martial arts. Is It's the synchronicity of how you move your body, right? I'm sure as Kali, our niece,
Yeah.
martial arts
We-
instructors yourselves, you got to do one movement with this hand, another movement with this hand, right? And it's training your body how to do that, right? And how to do that at the same time in one movement.
Right.
And so
damn it, my curiosity
really
got the best of me.
yeah, when you do it slowly in the Tai Chi, it just helps that brain kind of grasp those movements. Of course, you're going to teach them 1, 2, 3, 4, but because it's done in such a slow pace, it gets easier for the students to pick up on that synchronicity and then the foot movement and then that balance.
all right. I gotta see it.
All right, so I'm going to get out of the way, and we're going to have Nain get beat up. My favorite part of the show.
So, what do you think was one of the simplest things that you can show that emphasizes how what you learn in Tai Chi can translate into the self-defense aspect of it?
Yeah, so actually one of my instructor's favorites movements actually is called the grass bird's tail. Okay, and I can demonstrate it first.
Okay.
All right, it's in the very beginning of the form. Right. So this is movement number 1, and then number 2 is called grass bird's tail, and it goes like this: 1, 2, and 3. Right. And so you see this a lot actually in a lot of other Tai Chi movements, but I was originally taught this movement as a scoop and trap, right? Yeah. So like I was saying before, I don't really like to pair the footwork exactly with the movements in Tai Chi. I like to kind of portion it out, right? Take bits and pieces of the Tai Chi. And so the scoop and trap is essentially a defense against a roundhouse kick. Right? Or how acquainted are you with the roundhouse kick, Naeem?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Mid, high, low.
Yeah, just, hip level. All right. Yeah. So we want to get into a nice kicking stance, fighting stance here. Just, toss out a roundhouse kick just so I can see. Okay. Yeah. So basically, we'll go slow. Okay. I'm going to utilize that grass bird sail and turn it into a scoop and trap. Okay. Very simple. Okay.
All right.
So again, go ahead. 1, 2. Okay. So I'm here already, right? And what was the rest of the movement? Right? So, again, 1, 2. It's all in there. It's all in there, right?
Oh, that's
and it's very simple.
I don't know if you can appreciate. You know what? Damn it! I'm about to show it the other way. Can we do it this way?
Sure.
Because the emphasis is the drop. Like, I'm pretty adept to falling, but this is the first time I get dropped on my hip. It kind of sucks, dude. Like, seriously, my hip is kind of tingly right now.
Gotta work on the break fall.
I know, but here's the thing. Like, I like
it is a very awkward
to experience what it would be like without the adjustment, because then it gives me a sense of what is actually happening, and I can relay it to the people, because it's one thing to see it, it's another thing to understand what's actually happening.
That's right. That's
and
fair.
for us, it's always about, okay, can we get this to translate to the understanding part of it?
Yeah,
So, one
because
more time.
right when we are talking about the street, a lot of people aren't well versed in break
Right.
falls. So what would actually happen? Sometimes we get a misconstrued version of it because we have practitioners who are practicing and they know how to land softly, right? They know how to practice without hurting themselves. But what do you get when you get just like average Joe Smo who's like drunk or who knows what he's doing?
Oh,
he
you
just
said you
decides
know
to
some
be like,
karate commercial.
"Yeah," right? And the
Wait,
thing
have you
is
done Muay Thai too?
maybe.
Yeah, okay, because that was not the regular roundhouse from any of the systems that I saw.
Yeah.
That was leading with the hip. That's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
That's not a drunk dude. That's a total misrepresentation. All right, one more time.
So it's great, right? So
Yeah.
you know what you're looking for. So again, you're here, 1,
Uh-huh.
okay? And again, that same movement,
Uh-huh.
we're just gonna shift our hips and shift our weight, and then we fall, okay? Fall.
That one was better. The first time I literally landed on my hip, that one sucked. Wow, that's intense. And folks, it's hard to appreciate, but if you go back and look at her 64 steps, you can see how everything stays so contracted. Going as far as detailing, you actually keep your tailbone tucked in the whole time.
You're right. Yeah, you have a very good eye, man.
Well, I've been doing this long enough, I guess, but it's not an easy thing to do, folks, and it takes a lot of small muscle groups to actually accomplish it, and that's what I've been working on personally, is how do you strengthen that? And I feel like Tai Chi might be the better way to go than what I'm doing.
Well, it's in this set, and that's why I gravitated to it, right? Because I felt all of those little muscles contracting. Like every time I practiced the form, even if it was only like 1, 2, 3, or 4 steps, like I'd be like working up a sweat trying to be like, oh my God, like how do I get my hips? Like it really took me a long time to understand like how to move your torso and then move your leg with it and be able to shift all at once. And when I was practicing Aikido just recently down in Southern California, I realized that when I was working with the instructor, a lot of the movements, come from an even hip, which is what a lot of what this Tai Chi teaches you. You don't want to have a lot of up and down movements, and you really just want to keep that hip center and stable as you move throughout the form.
Wow, Rick, do you have any other questions? Anything else you want to see?
I just want to see him punch him in the face with that chin move.
Oh, the one you're
That's
great. Yeah.
So go ahead. I want to see this up close. Good luck.
Damn it. I was hoping you'd forget about that.
Oh no.
So is this from a punch, or what am I? How am I coming? Oh, I'm getting in your face.
Yeah, and it's here, right?
Yes.
So the reason I don't like to teach this is because this requires a lot of wrist strength.
We're not
right?
teaching this.
Yeah. And so if you haven't built your wrists,
Right.
this is not a good technique because I've done push-ups where I'm literally on my wrist, which will build that.
Wow,
that
you
strength.
really did the old school Shaolin style.
Yeah, she scares me now.
Yeah, I've
folks.
broken boards,
Yeah.
I've broken bricks, things like that.
Quick, go get a brick.
Now my chin hurts.
Well, hey,
It's
this
very
is really enlightening. I mean, a lot
Wow.
of things are. I've never realized how
Just getting trained.
impressive this really was. I mean, whenever you see it, you just see these, and you're like, okay, now what? And you just,
Yeah,
and
even
then-
that was crappy.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
what the hell
But
that
to
was.
see this and get the explanations was really impressive.
Good.
To me, I'm sure a lot of our viewers can be like, wow, this is cool.
Dude.
They might want to race over to you and get to meet you. Again, give us an address of some of the places you go to, because you said you had three different
parts she
locations. that you-
frequents.
Yeah. That you
Yes.
frequent.
Not that
Yes.
she necessarily
Is
only
that,
goes.
are those set schedules or?
Yes, they're set schedules. You do have to book through the catalog. Right
Right.
now, all my classes are super full. So if you can get lucky
Or
and
we
you're in
clone
San
her.
Francisco,
Yeah, we call it.
you can look up San Francisco Recreation and Parks.
Okay.
Just look up Tai Chi. I'm listed there under Alex Medell. I teach at 3 locations: Sunset Recreation Center, Richmond Recreation Center, and Eureka Valley Recreation Center. But like I said, if you can't get through one of those, book an online appointment with me, free consultations.
Or come here to
Or
Physique
Physique
Magnifique.
Exactly.
When they start
New
that.
classes.
When are they going to start that, do you know?
Saturdays at 8 a.m.
Yeah, Saturdays at 8. Or if you are in the Physique Magnifique community, my email is liveintaichi@gmail.com.
Now your name is Liv?
It's, yes.
Oh, Live.
Live in Tai Chi.
Okay, never
We
mind.
live
Sorry.
in Tai Chi all day, every day, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, well, dude, this is such an
Awesome.
experience. Thank you so much for coming out here.
Yeah.
This is College Conversation with me, Rick,
And me, Naeem.
and Alex the Ninja.
Alex the Ninja, our very special guest. And as always,
3, 2, 1.
Cut! I forgot how to count. Thank you so much.